City won last year. Well, so to 1985. Now let's check today's lineups with our commentator at Mount Smart, David Allen.
Well, North Shore have just one change from their semi-final lineup, with defender Lee Green in for Ted Edwards. Shore have 5 current New Zealand internationals in Alan Both, Duncan Cole, Kevin Hagan, Keith Hobbs and Peter Henry, who are all likely to play leading roles, of course, in the All-Whites bid to reach Mexico. On paper, a strong side which must, after its league failure, feel that it has something to prove this afternoon. North Shore. Napier City Rovers retain their successful Cup semi-final side, which is led by centre-back Sean Baxter. Plenty of experience throughout the Napier lineup. Terry Parkin has almost made 200 appearances for Rovers, while Paul Halford and Phil Jackson give their midfield edge. Napier City Rovers making their first appearance in a Chatham Cup final.
Now to check the progress of these two teams on their way to today's final. First of all, we start with the North Shore team. Both teams entered in the third round, and Shore beat East Coast Bays. Their next victims were Hamilton by an identical score. Papatoetoe were eliminated in the quarterfinals after extra time was required, and then Shore demolished the league champions Wellington 3-1 in the semis. For Napier City Rovers, their cup campaign began with a win over Gisborne Thistle in round 3. Then Stop Out of Wellington were beaten 4-1. Mount Wellington succumbed in the quarters, and Christchurch United was eliminated in the semi-finals. Well, the two coaches of today's teams, Malcolm Wilson is in charge of Napier City, and Don Jones, of course, in charge of North Shore United. Before the match, Philip Leishman spoke to the two coaches and asked them about the confidence of their two teams.
North Shore.
Very confident indeed, Philip.
How are you going to do this?
No special way. We're just going to keep an eye on their danger men. Kevin Hagan, Peter Henry, Alan Both. The list is endless.
You've got obviously danger men too, and particularly Greg Brown, the goal-scoring machine. Will you be working towards him all the time during this match?
No, not all the time, because he's going to be heavily marked during this game. We've got one or two other players that can prize open defences, and Greg Brown hasn't scored for the last 2 cup games, so we can depend on other people to score as well.
You've had the team together for 24 hours in Auckland. Are they confident they can do it?
Oh yes, very confident. We came up yesterday. We've been together since yesterday afternoon, and no hassles at all.
Well, that's Malcolm Wilson of the Napier City Rovers team. A man who's had a difficult job this year, going so well in the Cup contest, although his team did finish last in Division 1 of the Rothmans National League. Well, the coach of the North Shore United team is a man who's always got a lot to say, and that's Don Jones. And Philip Leishman asked him his opinions and hopes for this game today.
I think this would be the hardest game I've had to inspire the boys to win. I think that individually they know that they've given away the Rothmans Soccer League, and it's going to be real hard today, the first 20 minutes, when Napier start asking us the question.
Napier have had a dream run in their last few games, in fact a tremendous run. You've had those 1 or 2 problems, so how do you contend with that?
You've got to. It's a matter of it's tough at the top kind of thing, you know. When you're at the top, everyone wants to knock you off, and Napier being at the bottom and us being at the top, you know, they've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. We've got everything to lose and nothing really to gain. If we win today, we're meant to win, and if we lose today, we'll look out, you know. Will
you be looking to set up your danger men, Kevin Hagan and Peter Henry?
Yeah, definitely. Hagan and Henry will be our danger men, and I think if Henry starts going in the first 10 minutes, you could see a great cup final.
Will you win?
As far as I'm concerned, yes, we'll win by a couple of goals.
So the scene is set after the break. The 1985 Chatham Cup Final live from Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland.
On 1.
International Kevin Hagan was last night named Player of the Year by the soccer media at a function in Auckland, and Shaw will be hoping that Hagan today lives up to that billing. Hagan spent a season at Napier City Rovers before shifting to Auckland, where this hard-tackling midfield player has forced his way into the New Zealand team. This is 22-year-old Greg Brown, who arrived at Napier City Rovers mid-season from the Northern Premier League club in England, Hyde United. With 10 goals in his first 12 games for Rovers, he nearly helped them off the bottom of the Rothmans League from a hopeless position. Greg Brown, a key figure, I feel, in today's game. And while Napier City Rovers have Greg Brown, this player has all the match-winning qualities, as D.B. Wellington would testify. Peter Henry's 2 superb goals on that semi-final destroyed Barry Truman's side and showed just how dangerous Henry can be on his day. And that's just a portion of the Napier support which has arrived in Auckland this morning, travelling in buses and cars. Some of them flew in, and they have probably 500 or 600 supporters here to watch their side in their first ever Chatham Cup Final appearance. Paul Halford missed out on selection in the New Zealand World Cup squad, but a highly skillful player returning to his best form after injury before that Cup semi-final against Christchurch United. Along with Phil Jackson and Carl Bauerfeind, they make up a more than useful midfield for Napier City Rovers. Sean Baxter, the Napier City Rovers captain, on the left, and his counterpart at North Shore, James Varney, being introduced to the match officials. The referee for this game is 33-year-old Barry Tasker, who's in his rookie year on the Rothmans League panel. It's a real capital city team too, with Matt Noon and Trevor Alsbrick on the line for this 85 final. So we're just minutes away now, possibly seconds from kick-off in this final, which I think that it would be fair to say North Shore will be favoured to win. Just before kick-off, John Adsted, any final comments?
Yes, thank you, David. Well, it's going to be a very interesting game today. Napier must come here full of confidence. They've had an excellent finish to the season, although they have been relegated. And Shore losing those 2 games against University will be under all sorts of pressure. But the biggest gamble, I think, that Don Jones has taken today, he's leaving out Adrian Elric. He's been in tremendous form. And with young players like Loader and Green in this cup final, I would have personally liked to have seen Elric's experience in there alongside James Varney, who's not been in particularly good form in recent weeks. So a bit of a gamble there from Don Jones, but surely everybody's going to look to Peter Henry, I think, today. If he has one of his games, he can settle Shore, but I think they're going to have to contain Napier in these opening 20 minutes.
Napier City Rovers then to start this 85 final in the blue shirts, playing from right to left. First throw of the game will be taken by Milligan. That's the captain, Baxter. And Parkin gives his keeper, Clive Holmes, the first touch of the match. Colin Vogt. Parkin.
Napier there have started very confident mood indeed, only leaving 3 players at the back and are pushing a lot of players up front very early, looking to get this early goal.
It's Clark. Oh, just cut out in time too. Varney did well, and the first corner kick of the match to Napier City Rovers.
Shore definitely looking a little bit edgy in this opening couple of minutes, but it's because I think Napier's just gone so positive and pushed so many players forward, and I think they have got just a slight breeze at the back.
Steve O'Donoghue usually takes the set pieces. Clark was in there. Successive corners then for City Rovers and a strong start.
It's a tremendous challenge there by Clark. He really upset the North Shore defenders.
See what happens this time. O'Donoghue again. Scrambled away, and a free kick for Napier City Rovers in a fairly useful position. It's reasonably central, this one. See what they do. That's Greg Brown.
I think they'll be looking for a direct shot off this, David. They've got Brown on the ball in Halford.
So we could see the first strike from this Englishman. Driven in well, and the keeper in good position, Gilchrist. Varney dispossessed. Halford to Clark. What a run by Clark. Clark scores for Napier City Rovers. A fantastic start by the underdogs after just 2.5 minutes.
It was a brilliant goal there. It was the early ball there into Clark that did it. He really shrugged off the tackle, went past the goalkeeper there as if he didn't exist, picked his spot and very, very calmly put it in. Absolutely class goal there to Napier City Rovers.
Napier City Rovers 1, North Shore 0. A sensational start to this 85 Chatham Cup Final. North Shore then really in the Napier half for the first time in the match. The throw taken. Brown competing for this ball. Green trying to hold him up. A very enthusiastic Napier City Rovers support now. Their side leading by a 1-0. Scorer Harry Clark. There's Baufind. Parkin is the goal scorer. And a free kick for Napier. Everything going right for the Napier side. Varney going for the ball. The challenge is from Halford.
Napier have certainly started as if they've really come here to Auckland to win this game. They're only playing 3 players at the back, but they're playing 5 in midfield, and that really is beginning to upset Shaw in these early stages, with Brown and Clark as the target men up front. And those two are really giving the back 4 of Shaw a tremendous amount of problems, and the midfield 5 are really shutting Shaw down so quickly, not allowing them to play football. I think the tactics couldn't be more right from the Napier side, but Shaw have got to look to settle down now and really look to play quality football to play their way out of the trouble that they're in.
It's Clark going for the ball. And a North Shore free kick. Well, if there was any complacency in the North Shore camp, I'm sure it won't be there now. Referee asking for the free kick to be retaken. Ball wasn't stationary. That's Hobbs. Hagan going for it. Clark's there too, behind him though. Hagan doing a good job shielding the ball. Does well. Varney trying to get the cross in. Does well. And McEwen was just wide. It's the first real bit of enterprise we've seen in the offensive third from North Shore. They trailed by 1-0. We've had 6 minutes of play in this final. Holmes. Hobbs the first header. This is Peter Henry. Still Henry. Hagan. It's both. Stuck for options there. Varney. Both again. Still has possession, both. Just keeps it in.
Stand up, Teddy. Stand there.
And North Shore free kick for that challenge. So an attacking set piece for North Shore. Easily cleared away by Parkin.
Interesting little deflection there off the arm, David. He turned his back on the ball. It was a penalty was given when we played Kuwait in the World Cup for exactly the same thing against John Hill.
Weymouth lost the ball. Clark doing his best to get it away. And a goal kick for Napier City Rovers, who lead by 1-0. The scorer was Harry Clark after 2.5 minutes of play. Clive Holmes, the keeper, 21-year-old in his second season at Napier City Rovers. Badly taken goal kick. Gets away with it, though. This is Milligan. Jackson. Milligan. Battling well, Napier City Rovers. Milligan again. Cut out well by Hobbs, though. Milligan to take this throw for City Rovers. That's Clark. Tried to get the first time cross, but has fouled Milligan. So another free kick awarded by referee Barry Tasker from Wellington. Jackson to take this set piece. A chance for Clark.
Excellent goalkeeping there by Gilchrist. Really, it was Brown, I think, that went in and made the first challenge and opened the space up for Clark, but Gilchrist was very, very quickly off his line and really did tremendous block there by Gilchrist.
Helford takes the kick. Another free kick, this time to Shaw. Pumps them both together there. This is Alan Both. Hobbs. Oh, they didn't really make any progress North Shore through there. They appeared to have plenty of time at the back, but Napier City Rovers putting the pressure on in midfield, and they lead by 1-0. Shaw get away, and this is Stan Clark at the back for Napier.
It's a good defensive exercise here by Napier City Rovers. They're pulling players back and just leaving Clark and Brown to defend in their own half of the field, and it really is upsetting Shaw because they had a lot of players to play the ball to them.
O'Donoghue, the goal scorer in the semi-final. Oops, just hung on to the ball too long, but they come back, Napier City Rovers. Milligan. Halford is offside.
Very close decision there for offside, and it's again excellent play by Napier. They're playing these balls in so very, very early, and that must have been a hairline decision there, similar to a ball as the first goal, when they played the ball in so very quickly and didn't allow Shaw to organise.
11 minutes now into the final, and Napier lead by 1-0. Brown. So Napier throw. Haven't seen much of Greg Brown so far. He feinted right early on and attempted to get the shot in, but it was pretty well covered by the North Shore defence. Jackson to take the throw. Clark. Does well, Harry Clark, and is fouled once again. Free kick for City Rovers. So another good opportunity for Napier.
He's a good player, this Clark. He was just holding the ball and tempting the challenge to come in, realising that he couldn't do anything else with it, and a free kick would be the best thing to get out of that situation. He did very well there. This is a very dangerous situation for the free kick.
Gilchrist just checking the angles. Played in by Jackson. Just bouncing around there for a moment, but no immediate danger for Shaw. Napier still in control. Balfine. The early ball is onside. No, he's offside. The referee was right on the mark, but the flag didn't go up on the far side.
I think I'd go with the linesman there. I don't think he was offside, but the ball was just played a little bit too hard on that occasion. But again, this early ball is really causing problems.
North Shore trailing by 1-0 in the cup final. We've had 13 minutes of play. Is it again, and Jackson clears up. Holmes finds Parkin. Hobbs. Both and Hagen together. Colliding. Bow fine for Napier. That's Halford. Was looking for the early ball again. Easily cut out by Hobbs. Well, Napier doing it all right at the moment. They lead by 1-0. The goal scorer was Harry Clark. This is Stan Clark. And Halford, or it is actually Harry Clark on the far side, offside. Free kick to North Shore.
Stephen, well tracked.
Weymouth. Can make progress there. It's tidied up at the back by this fairly confident Napier side. It's the captain Baxter. A little bit casual at the back, but he gets away with it. O'Donoghue. Brown. Shaw had the throw. Hobbs. And that's the keeper, Alan Gilchrist, in his 10th year with North Shore. Hagen and Clark together. It's Baxter. Terry Parkin. Brown. A bad ball by Greg Brown. Touch forward for Clark. It's on. Harry Clark.
That was beautiful play again there from Halford and Brown, and Clark just overrunning the ball a little bit and failing to get a quality crossing, but here they come again.
Offside this time, though. Trevor Allsbrook on the far side, waving his flag. But Napier City Rovers are really causing North Shore problems at the back with this early ball.
It's a rare find when you get somebody like Brown that you can spread players out around the park and they're playing balls into Brown, and he really has got this ability to receive the ball and hold it, and it's a tremendous asset to have in a side when you can spread players all around the park.
Hagen brought down outside the area. Free kick to North Shore. A fairly useful position too. That's Clive Holmes checking the near post. Hit in by Loader.
So often happens in a game that you've got a very young fullback, and he's a very good fullback, is Paul Loader, but he's been under a tremendous lot of pressure, and that's the first chance he's really had to come forward, and as soon as he's got into the penalty area, he's really botched the cross, and I think his nerves will be tingling just a little bit at the moment.
So I think North Shore certainly feeling the pressure, trailing by 1-0, trying to get back into this match. Baxter tidies up, that's Parkin. Milligan, in fact, on the far side. Oh, a nice ball, almost found Brown, and that would have been interesting. Vital touch there for sure. Hobbs. Good effort by Brown, almost there as Hobbs comes away. Henry. North Shore coach John Jones last night named the soccer personality of the year. He's pointed at his league effort, but wanting a cup final victory. A side trail though by 1-0. We're now 18 minutes into the cup final. Clive Holmes, who's made some very vital saves during this cup run. Loader for sure. Cole. Struggling a bit, Duncan Cole, but he gets there. O'Donoghue. Loader again. Here's Peter Henry now, in a little bit of space. Not a bad ball either to Weymouth. The early cross. O'Donoghue.
Really well played by Milligan there.
Brown. Hobbs did well. Napier coming back then. Throw to be taken by Terry Parkin. Clark. Doing such a good job, Harry Clark. Both. A bit of space now for Kewen.
Well up, Stu.
Wasn't particularly well directed, that cross. The Shaw players would have wanted better. Halford considers his options, and the safest was keeper Clive Holmes. Hobbs, no challenge. Jackson. This is Brown. Oh, he does so well, Greg Brown. All taken out, and a free kick. No, in fact, it's given the other way.
Very strange decision there, David. His ball skills again have really rocked those Shaw. But it looked to be a definite obstruction there by Hobbs on Brown.
Well, Greg Brown can't understand it. The ball is at the other end of the paddock and is cleared away by Holmes. No immediate pressure was the young defender Lee Green. So it's a throw for Napier. They lead by 1-0. Parkin to take it. That's Clark beyond. Recovered well, Clark. O'Donoghue the cross. Punched away by Gilchrist. Chance for Brown as the keeper stays down. They can see the corner kick through Hobbs.
A little bit fortunate again there, North Shore, because it was a tremendous challenge there by Brown, and I think it was Hobbs himself in the clash that hit Gilchrist. Gilchrist went down. There's certainly no foul, and he was certainly going to stay down, which he did, and the ball just didn't break. It was a good throw-in. You just watch the ball now being fed back very, very well indeed, and the early cross again went in. Good challenge there by Brown, and the ball just dropping loose, and they were unlucky there because there was a good rebound there coming in off Halford, and it just didn't fall right. And North Shore very, very lucky indeed that that ball didn't go to the feet of an Napier City player. And Don Jones, looking worried as he is, would have been certainly more worried to have been 2 goals down at this stage, which they could quite easily have been.
Looks as though Gilchrist should be okay. The corner kick will be taken shortly to restart play. North Shore supporters
They'll be disappointed.
Anxiously.
They'll be disappointed because it's been aggression from Napier that really has put them into the box seat in these early stages of the first half. They've come out as if they really wanted to win. They've been quicker to the ball, and the defending's been excellent because the danger men, particularly Peter Henry and Kevin Hagan, as soon as ball possession's been lost, they've been picked up by a number of players. They haven't given one player the job to do on these 2 players, and they've shared the responsibility about, but really they've closed Hagan down very, very quickly, and Weymouth, and really Barry Weymouth up front really hasn't got into the game at all, and this has been credit because Napier's only playing 3 men at the back, and they've taken good responsibility. A little bit of blood there on Gilchrist. He's got a pretty bad knock in the mouth there, but he's a strong boy, he's a brave lad, and he'll certainly bounce back quickly off this. A little bit of blood.
So Alan Gilchrist returns to his goalkeeping position, and the corner kick to be taken with Napier leading by 1-0. Taken by Halford. Another corner, so they get a second bite. Well, both looking anxiously around.
big Stan Clark there that's causing a lot of problems in that area.
Elford again. Deeper this time. Jackson. Offside. At least one or two players offside on that occasion. Well, North Shore have had a torrid opening, really, to this Chatham Cup final. That early goal scored by Harry Clark after just 2.5 minutes. A major setback. And the North Shore fans who thought that they probably were justifiable favourites at the start of this match, beginning to wonder, perhaps. This is Clark. Spreading it for O'Donoghue, who switched flanks. It's fouled, so the free kick for Napier. O'Donoghue, the scorer of that solitary goal, a semi-final win against Christchurch United. Milligan returns it to Holmes. The pitch, incidentally, here at Mount Smart in really good order, considering the amount of rain which has fallen in Auckland in the last few days. It was snowed just before the game, and it's an excellent service as Brown almost got away.
He's certainly causing problems there. His receiving, David, I think is as good as I've seen from any central striker today. He's receiving and turning players at will. Marvellous player. He's been a great asset coming to Napier City Rovers midway through the season.
Hagan. This is Weymouth. Really struggling, Barry Weymouth. Halford picks it up for Napier in midfield. Brown with a chance, perhaps. The keeper did well, Gilchrist. Jackson as Napier come back. Fearless ball and Henry. It's 2-on-2. Still Henry. Good ball played forward for Cole. Almost a mix-up, but cut out just in time by Napier. And the corner kick.
It's certainly a timely tackle there by Clark. His goalkeeper Holmes had come for it, but it looked like it could have been Alan Ball's ball, because Alan would commit from a long distance off, and he just got the ball into touch for the corner.
26 minutes now into the final. Varney. That's beyond McEwen. Second bite for Henry. Did well. Chance for Hagan, but he didn't really hit it well. The ball's still in the danger area. And the danger averted by Napier. Well, it was a promising cross that was sent in, and Hagan may have saw the ball fairly late, but he certainly didn't meet it well.
Well, first real chance there for sure. We saw the first little bit of Peter Henry's skills on the box. Got a good cross in, but Hagan just seemed to time his jump a little bit early and got underneath the ball. Couldn't get the direction, couldn't get the power.
Brown flicked on for Halford. Here's a chance for Halford. Paul Halford scores number 2 for Napier City Rovers.
Joyous scenes there from the Napier crowd, and quite rightly so, and Gilchrist must be wondering what the heck's going on in front of him. Little ball was through there, Halford was on his bike, and the North Shore defence was caught square, flat-footed, and all Halford needed to do was continue his run and just guide it past Gilchrist into the corner of the net, and there's the joy.
Alan Gilchrist certainly wondering what's going on. His side is trailing by 2-0, and there is the man who scored the second Napier goal, Paul Halford, left out of the New Zealand World Cup squad, but he's already made an impact in the opening half hour of this match.
It was a tremendous run there by Halford, because he saw what was happening. The ball was still 40 yards out when it took the bounce. He saw it was going to beat the North Shore defence, committed himself early, carried his run, and was very, very calm as he put the ball into the back of the net.
Halford clears. Clark doing well. Halford. And a free kick for Napier after that challenge.
going to have to watch this now, North Shore. The 2 goals down, and they're showing that little tendency that can easily get into players now. They want to try and win it quickly, and they could commit a lot of offences in this next 10 or 15 minutes of play unless they settle it down and try to get the football that we know they can play, get that going. They're not out of this game by any stretch, but they've got to start to get more composure into the football and knock the ball about a lot more than they've done in this opening 28 minutes or so.
Hobbs at the back for North Shore. They're really struggling through the midfield on occasion, Shore, not making breaks at all. Here's Cole. Battling hard as always. Phil Jackson is looking for Brown. Well, there was hesitation again, and a lot of uncertainty at the rear of the Napier City, or rather the North Shore defence. And so we have another set piece for Napier. This corner kick. Paul Halford. Is wide. Jackson. Offside was O'Donoghue and possibly Brown as well. Well, North Shore have been under tremendous pressure in the opening half hour of this match. We've had almost 30 minutes of play in this Chatham Cup final. And quite remarkably, Napier are leading North Shore by 2-0. Quite a turnaround, really, because, of course, Shore raced to a 2-0 lead against DB Wellington in their semi-final, with the brilliance of Peter Henry and plenty of support on that occasion. And we're pretty quickly in a commanding position at half-time in that match by 3-0. How things have swung around in recent weeks. The disappointment in the league championship as Clark is offside. Shore certainly disappointed after those 3 failings in the run into the league championship. Now with a chance of taking 2 trophies in the 1985 season. They've taken the Air New Zealand, remember, and would have been reasonably hopeful of success in the Chatham Cup final. There still is plenty of cause for hope out there because they really had so many good players. 5 internationals, as I mentioned previously, with good ball skills, both trying to get some urgency into the side, and a free kick for North Shore. That's Hagan. And first booking of the match then, after that foul on Kevin Hagan.
A little bit of a harsh decision there. I think he's booked Milligan, but really it was a 50-50 ball. It wasn't a good ball played in by both, and I think the defender made a tremendous job of going for the ball.
Henry. No problems for the Napier defence. Two goals to nil. Napier lead North Shore. Harry Clark after 3 minutes and Paul Halford after 26.
I think the main difference in the game up to this point in time has just been that they've been far more urgent, Napier City Rovers, and the quality of ball that they've delivered into the box has been far superior to anything that North Shore has been able to play, and 2 goals have come from it.
Milligan will restart with a throw.
Look up!
Brown doesn't believe it, but it is a North Shore throw. Henry, both in the action again. That's Weymouth. Cut out very well indeed by Stan Clark. Oh, Brown did very well indeed, but it was eventually Cole who cut it out. He never gives up, Greg Brown. Very determined professional player. Came straight from the Northern Premier League in England this year. Was with Hyde United, scored something like 9 goals in 8 games, I think it was, before starting to make his impression with the Napier City Rovers revival. Henry for North Shore. This is Hagan. In a bit of space now, Varney. Both.
Keep a push. Don't get deep.
Pushed back really by Milligan. There's the throw, Alan Both. Weymouth. Trying to get the ball into the area. Cole. Plenty of time for Jackson to clean up and find his keeper, Clive Holmes. Clive Holmes spent some time with 4th Division Aldershot, something like 4 seasons there. The players are back. Henry racing and does meet the ball, keeps it in. And a corner kick, I feel, for North Shore as he awarded a free kick.
Well, in this opening half hour, David, it's been hard to find a weakness in this Napier side. The game up front has been full of confidence, and at the back they've just been looking so composed.
Easily cleared and cut out by that Rovers defence. That's Jackson. Touched by Brown. O'Donoghue. Good running off the ball by Brown. Still holds it up and wins the free kick.
This lad is quite incredible. He's having a day of days today. He's in a cup final for the first time in New Zealand, and no matter how this result ends today, David, I think John Jones of Shore will be having nightmares about this man for a few weeks to come.
Well, another attacking set piece for Napier. It's Greg Brown, the man who's causing so many problems for this North Shore defence. Played in Clark. Oh, does well, he's onside, Halford. Hobbs also did well. Really struggling North Shore. This is Clark. And the goal kick.
Good pressure again there from Napier, and it was excellent defending there by Keith Hobbs. When that ball came to Halford, he had a yard, and Hobbs could have been tempted there to dive in, which was exactly what Halford wanted, but he didn't. He defended well. He just kept goal side, forced the player to turn into him and got the ball away. But then again, the pressure came straight back. They're really doing well, Napier.
Loader. 10 minutes to go till half-time of the cup final. And Baxter, very confident, the Napier captain. Parkin. There's plenty of confidence at the back. Milligan for Napier. Cole, Weymouth, and a free kick for North Shore. Referee Tasker right on the spot. Kuhn having a word, and so is both, I think, as this free kick is eventually taken. Here is Peter Henry. What a great ball to Hagan. And a throw on the far side, indicated by the referee.
Well done, Stan. Right, man, come on. Let's go down, come on. Let's get into this fullback, you know.
That's the right back for Napier, Terry Milligan. Both. Jackson for Napier. And a free kick. He was fouled by Alan Both. And the second booking of the match, Alan Both, I think, perhaps had a word to the referee, who dishes out his second yellow card to Alan Both.
Yeah, I think it must have been a word, David, because the incident didn't really hold much, but it just shows the frustration now that players are getting into on the Shore side.
Balfine. It's a good run from Halford on the far side there. And a free kick, and again, it's fairly useful. It's only about 20 metres outside the area. Well, we're into the final minutes of this first half in the Chatham Cup Final, and Napier are continuing the way they started. They lead by 2-0. Harry Clark scoring after 3 minutes of play, and Paul Halford making it 2-0. Quite sensationally, I might add, after 26.
I think Brown fancies his chances.
Jackson, the dummy run. Here's the shot by Brown. Second bite. And offside. Well, it's been a nightmare, really, this first half for the North Shore players and the supporters.
A few happy faces there, though, from Napier. They really have in this first half. They've totally dominated Shore, and it's got the makings of a very exciting game if Shore can get some composure and start playing the football.
Henry, Duncan Cole, a New Zealand captain. Loader. Kewen trying to control the ball, shields it well. Loader again. Kewen. Cole battling. So too is Jackson. It's a real battle out there for the ball as it's eventually cleared up by Stan Clark. Put back for Napier. Just 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Napier ahead by 2-0. Clark. Jackson. He's onside, Halford, and plenty of space too. Brown's calling for it on the far post, but he couldn't get the early ball in. Good tackle by Phil Jackson. Also in a bit of space, McEwen. Cole the shot. A deflection too. It's a corner kick to North Shore. Well, obviously, this North Shore side would be very keen to get one back before half-time. They have a chance now with a set piece, a right wing corner. Peter Henry. Again a chance for Cole. Brown. Oh, good work by Brown, who's brought down.
Now that does deserve a booking, David, that. And he's going to get one.
Well, it was really cut out by Lee Green. And Greg Brown would have been away. But he wins the free kick.
When he received that ball, he had 3 Shore defenders, and he'd received and turned and was virtually past the last man when Green pulled him down. Total class from Brown.
So I'm sure he's one of the best strikers to have played football in New Zealand on a permanent basis, as the free kick is given to North Shore for an infringement at the back. It's Cole on the ball. Just 4 minutes remain in this first half. Duncan Cole, 2 weeks, leads New Zealand against Australia perhaps. Clark for Napier. Milligan. Here's Halford with another chance, and he can control it. A second bite. Brown just wide.
Absolutely unbelievable quality movement there by Halford. In fact, he'd moved forward just a few seconds before the final ball was delivered into him, and it could have been delivered much earlier. He's still well onside there, controlled the board superbly. The challenge couldn't come, hit the shot tremendously well, and Brown was unlucky there because he had to get very low down onto the ball and just got the ball over the top of the bar. But again, the quality of movement from the Napier team, absolutely first class.
It so nearly could have been 3-0. 3 minutes remain until half-time.
Come on!
And a very concerned Don Jones, I'm sure, looking at the treble at one stage. Now perhaps all he may get in reward for the season on 85 is the Air New Zealand. Who knows? Plenty of football to play. Loader with the throw as North Shore try to come back. They trail by 2-0. Hagan. A bit of space now, Hagan. He's trying to set himself up and nearly did. Jackson for Napier. Clark. Cut out by Green. And a bit of space for Green now. Clark, though, for Napier. This is Greg Brown. And he takes off Greg Brown. Milligan. He's onside, no, he's off. Barthand was offside. Well, Napier City Rovers full of urgency in the first 45 minutes of this Chatham Cup Final, and they just haven't really let up. They haven't let Shaw into the game. Hobbs. Miscued. It's a throw for Napier. A minute and a half remains before we move into time added on to stoppages in this first half. Clark. Milligan called for it. Halford. Milligan continues his run. And offside was Clark. Score of the first goal. Loader. Hagen. Clark. Now fine. Loader finds Gilchrist. Well, it's going to be a real task for North Shore. They trail by 2-0. Henry. Duncan Cole. Just a hopeful ball, really. It's another Napier throw in the dying stages of this first half at Mount Smart. Terry Parkin. Parkin again. Clark. And Green just shields the ball and allows it to run over that goal line for the goal kick. Well, Harry Clark can really feel pleased with himself. He's done a good job in the first half, laying off the ball, shielding it well, and scoring the opening goal after 3 minutes of play.
Yeah, he's worked very well off Brown. The pair of them really work well together, David. He's been part of the creation of space for Brown up front. And when Brown's had that space, he's been able to do the job.
Halford for Napier. Jackson. And a Napier throw, I think. Yes, it is. We're into injury time now in this first half. Parkin. Clark again. Jackson takes over. He's on side two as Parkin. Let's see how he can deal with the cross. Tried to bend it, and Gilchrist got down. And it's a goal kick. The ball had already crossed the goal line. Quickly taken. Henry really playing in a deep role. Easily cut out, though, by Jackson. That's Clark's. Struggled a bit, but it's tidied up by Baxter, and eventually it is Milligan on the far side. Well, it's been a remarkable first half, this Chatham Cup Final. North Shore, the favourites. Perhaps not as dominating favourites as they may have been 3 weeks ago when we looked ahead to the final. But still favoured, a side with 5 internationals, no less, and 5 players who perhaps all could play a major part in New Zealand's bid to reach Mexico. That campaign starting in just 2 weeks from now here at Mount Smart in Auckland. Weymouth battling hard with Milligan on the far side. Free kick, though.
Hey, come on, track and back!
Weymouth fouled. James Varney. Keeper's out of position. Final touch was a North Shore one and a goal kick to Napier City Rovers, who've now had 3 minutes of injury time. Referee looks at his watch. Fine day in Auckland for this match, as referee Barry Tasker of Wellington ends a quite sensational first half. Napier off to a flying start with their goal after just 3 minutes by Harry Clark, and they confirmed their superiority after 26 minutes when Paul Halford scored their second.
Been a tremendous first half there, David, for Napier. They really have totally dominated this half, and I really can't see Shaw getting back into this game with his 45 minutes to go, but they've been so composed at the back. Milligan, Parkin and Baxter, just playing 3 across the back, have done so well. 5 across the midfield, and Clark and Brown just causing havoc up front.
Well, a great first half there for Napier City Rovers, and we'll be back with our commentators David Allen and John Adshead after this break.
But Harris' team would settle down. Well, they've had a long time to settle down, John. They haven't done that. What are they going to do?
Well, they haven't been able to settle down right from the kick-off. This Napier side has come out with so much confidence, more confidence than I've seen any team in a cup final in New Zealand. They came out and just played 3 players at the back, and Milligan and Parker and Baxter have just done so well, so composed. They played 5 in the midfield to upset Shaw. They achieved that, and with Clark and Brown up front, they've just created havoc.
You're a great believer in the psychological approach to this game. I noticed that the North Shore players came onto this ground today in singly. The Napier City team have been together for 24 hours. Is that showing?
I think it has, and see, Napier's finished the season very well. They've come here as a very confident side, even though they've been relegated and they've got to play the playoff series. Shaw have been struggling towards the back end of the season, and it's Napier that have took that advantage, the psychological aspect of saying, let's go at them, let's attack them, let's score goals, and goals they've scored.
What has Don Jones, do you think, said to the North Shore team?
They've never been allowed to settle. There's a lot of good players in this Shore side. There's 45 minutes to go, and they're nowhere near out of this final yet. But they've got to get composed, and they've got to start spreading the ball about and playing the football we know they can play in order to retain enough possession to let the likes of Hagan and Weymouth and these players take control of the game up front. They're just not getting any space at all. What's your prediction then, John? I think if Shaw are going to come back, they're going to come back in this first 15 minutes. If they do come back, then I think we could even go to a replay. But to be honest, I can't see Napier letting it slip now.
John Adshead, well, that's the situation at Mount Smart. Players are back on the field, as you can see. Play about to begin. Remember, Napier City Rovers leading at the moment by 2-0 in the Chatham Cup Final. Let's rejoin Dave Allen.
Well, the Pennebex North Shore side have the task ahead of it in the second half, obviously, and an early goal would certainly make that fight back a little bit easier. North Shore in the second half then playing from right to left as we await the restart. Referee Tasker just checking with his linesman. And we're away for the second half of the 1985 Chatham Cup Final. O'Donoghue. Doing fairly well on the far side, Steve O'Donoghue. So Napier immediately on to the offensive. With this throw on the far side, it'll be taken by Parkin.
Hold him tight, look in left, Hall.
Clark, scorer of the first goal. Did well with the cross. Gilchrist in good position. Cole. McEwen. Really battling for the ball. Hagan takes over. Loader gets it away. Cross from Cole. Saw the keeper off his line, I think, and attempted to perhaps just drift the ball in underneath the crossbar, and it's a corner kick for North Shore. So they trail by 2-0, and this is their first real chance in the second half. This corner kick. Five Holmes looking around. Peter Henry to take the corner kick. Positioned. Donahue. Only as far as Varney. And I think perhaps some obstruction there. And it's a free kick to North Shore. So this is a very good attacking opportunity early in the second half for North Shore. Referee Tasker having obviously a bit of a word with Alan Both. No real problems there. The wall is ready. I don't think Alan Both and Hagen and Henry are ready quite yet. Finally, I think they decide what's going to happen. Holmes has checked the near post. Let's see what happens. The shot from Hagen. Good work by Jackson. Shaw will come back, though, in the form of a throw this time. A long throw. Keith Hobbs. Hagen. Henry. O'Donoghue takes over. Loader. Hobbs again. O'Donoghue for Napier. Green at the back for Shaw. And he can't find Loader on the far side. So a throw for Napier City Rovers. Paul Loader. He's had a few problems in the game so far. Throw's taken by Parkin. Cole for Henny Max North Shore. Loader. This is Hagen. Oh, a good ball. Both now. He's looking for the early ball and it's cleared away only temporarily, though. Here's Varney for North Shore. Beyond McEwen and also beyond Weymouth. Loader comes back, though. They still have possession, North Shore. Well, it wasn't particularly accurate when he decided to get the ball into the area. That's been a problem with North Shore so far in the game. But already in the second half, they've shown the urgency that you'd expect from a side trailing in the cup final by 2-0. Henry. Still Henry. Cross from Varney. Testing Holmes. Pumped back by Both. Former New Zealand captain Alan Both. Holmes clears. Clark. Jackson. Obviously, I think it's important that they keep playing, Napier, even though they do lead by 2-0. And they're still battling Jackson there in the midfield. North Shore have the throw, though. Well, there's been plenty for the strong Napier City Rovers support to cheer about so far in the match. North Shore, though, for the moment, trying to urge their side on to get back into this game. Perhaps a chance for Kyle, but O'Donoghue got there first. Milligan. Clark. Oh, good turn in. Well played by Clark. Good run by Milligan. Well done, Hobbs. Varney. And the ball is out. Well, Napier City Rovers throw. They lead by 2-0. A
little bit unlucky there, Varney, but certainly there it was Milligan's run forward. Showed tremendous skill, and if he had got past Varney, sure would have been in all sorts of trouble. But there's just showing so much composure again at the start of this second half, Napier, that I can't see them relinquishing anything.
Halford. Oh, miscued by Hagen. Brown tries to get control. And it's a free kick. Brown can't understand it again. Quickly taken. Henry. That's Weymouth on the far side. Good run by Weymouth. Gets the early ball in. Well cut out by Milligan, though, for Napier. Shaw coming back. Later on the far side, Henry takes over. Plenty of urgency there. Here's Hagan, Player of the Year. Nothing particularly lethal about the final touch from Brian McEwen.
More composed build-up there by Shaw, and I feel this is what they have to do, David. They're just beginning to run with the ball a little bit longer now, looking to find players a little bit earlier. They're going to have to do that if they're going to get back into this game.
Varney gets the cross in. Cole. Hagan again. Later on the far side. A chance for Shaw. Both. Henry again. But beyond the far post. Beyond Brian McEwen, certainly. And a goal kick for City Rovers.
But there's danger signs there for Napier. They just seem to be not getting the tackles in as quickly as they used to do in that first half. They seem to be sitting off. Now, if they sit off and just look to defend this 2-goal lead, then they could find themselves in all sorts of problems, because Shaw certainly do have the players to capitalise on that sort of defence. They've got to play the game as they did in the midfield in the first half, by getting those tackles in much earlier on the Shaw players.
They're starting to play now, North Shore. Here's the long shot from Cole. And it was very long, well past the goal, certainly. 8 minutes now into the second half. Napier lead by 2-0. Harry Clark after 3 minutes, and Paul Halford adding the second after 26. Clive Holmes replacing the ball. Greg Brown and Duncan Cole. Cole has got the marking job. Hobbs is straight to Jackson, looking for the early ball, and offside is Brown. There's no doubt about that one. Linesman right on the spot, and so were we.
A little bit upset there, Brown, because again he was looking for that early delivery and he timed his run well, but the ball didn't come as quickly as it possibly could have done.
Hobbs taking this free kick. Baxter and Hagan. A chance for Henry.
You struck that well, David. I think that was heading for the goal. It was just a bit unfortunate there that it was Jackson there got in the line of the ball from that shot from Henry.
Peter Henry starting to become more involved, I feel. Cole takes over. Undoubtedly the long throw, yeah. Henry gets there first. Still battling away. Hagan takes over. And a free kick to North Shore for that foul on Hagan. North Shore then coming right back into the game, but they still trail by that 2-goal margin.
The wind down on the pitch, David, is a little bit stronger than we realised from way up here in the commentary position. And that could have just a little effect now on these shooting chances that are coming Shaw's way.
Yes, North Shore certainly do have the wind behind them in the second half. O'Donoghue. Cut out by Green. This is Cole. Nicely sent forward for McEwen, but Baxter was just there in time to get a vital touch. Yes, they certainly don't want to stop playing Napier City Rovers and just try to defend the 2-goal lead against a side which has really so many quality players as North Shore. It could be quite dangerous. Jackson in midfield for Napier. That's Parkin. Brown. Hobbs tried to keep control and did quite well. Henry. Showing good speed, Peter Henry. And good control. And a free kick for North Shore for that foul on Peter Henry after the ball had left, I feel. Alan Both to take it. Gary Tasker having a word there with Terry Milligan. both with a free kick. Well taken down by the Napier keeper, Holmes. Clive Holmes, who's made some very important saves during this cup run. Clark. Did well, Harry Clark, in the throw for Napier. Jackson. Clark again. Does that so well. Jackson, a good ball. Halford. Well covered on the near post by the keeper, Gilchrist.
Beautiful build-up again there by Napier. Even though they're under pressure, they're still showing that little bit of edge of more composure at the back than Shaw did in the first half. And it could have a vital bearing on this game because they don't seem to be rattled as Shaw was rattled in that opening 20 minutes. And although the pressure's coming at Napier now in this opening spell in the second half, then they're just keeping the heads and defending as well as they have to.
Making progress down the far side, Napier. Terry Parkin, he's made almost 200 appearances for Napier City Rovers. "13 minutes into the second half. Free kick to be taken. Hobbs. Baxter. Gives it away badly, though. Hagan now trying to set something up. Cannot meet the return, though, and it's a chance if Brown can get the ball. He does very well. Let's watch the strike. Oh, what a turn by Brown. Possibly a bit unlucky, but the danger is not over yet for sure. As Halford is brought down quite viciously just outside the centre circle and may receive some treatment, I feel. I think the referee may be calling someone out here. Having a word to Varney.
There's Brown. He just showed you there the incredible pace of this lad, because it was a last-ditch tackle, first of all, from Baxter that deprived Kevin Hagan of a chance. The ball rocketed forward, and already Brown was on his bike. And when he hit the penalty area, he was more than about 40 metres in front of anyone from his own side, and he just had no support at all, but he still had that ability to turn on the ball, tried to get the shot in, and in fact when he hit it, he was appealing that the ball had cannelled off Varney's arm, and he was even appealing for the penalty there. But strikers are never wrong, and he's looking upset about all the decisions that are going on, but that's just typical of striker, and I know probably deep inside him he knows he's having a wonderful game.
It's Roy Stanger, one of the coaching duo at Napier City Rovers, who just rushed past Greg Brown, who obviously wants to receive some attention, just being guided off the field to get that attention. Meanwhile, free kick is to be taken, and that's Jackson on the ball. Brown comes back on the field.
I would hope for Napier's sake, he was having a look around the hamstring region there, that he hasn't strained the hamstring. But certainly that's where the treatment was administered to.
The chance for Milligan. No problems for Gilchrist on that occasion. Greg Brown looks as though he's moving around with relative freedom. Loader. Hagan for North Shore. Oh, a real mix-up there with Weymouth. Baxter trying to play the early ball again, but offside.
Just typifies the side there, David. You know, there's so much urgency in Shore at the moment. They want to do things, but they just haven't got that composure to play football, that everybody wants to do everybody else's job. And as we saw there, two players getting tangled in trying to do the same job.
Half an hour remains in this 1985 Chatham Cup Final. Napier still ahead by 2-0. Played by Hobbs. Hagan. Cole. That was, in fact, the keeper and the captain, rather, Varney. And a goal kick for Napier City Rovers. Throw for North Shore on the far side. Crowd of about 2,000 at Mount Smart today for this Chatham Cup final. Not a large crowd. Cole finally decided to switch play. That's Varney. Hagen starts a bit of a run. Jackson. Hagen battling hard though. This is Loader. Henry. First time ball. Both. A fantastic effort by Alan Both. The corner awarded to North Shore, who are starting to really get back into this match, and perhaps a little unlucky not to bring it back to 2-1 there.
Absolutely. That was a fine header from Both there, David. Really threw everything at it. Got the tremendous power, but the crossbar was there and not the back of the net.
Weymouth. Both. Still not clear. Donahue. Well, it's safe up around halfway. They survive the onslaught for the moment anyway, Napier. They're coming back, North Shore. This is Hagen. They're lining up on the far post. Oh, a bad miss by Weymouth at a vital time in the game.
There's a lovely ball in there from Harry, and Alan Bowe just absolutely there, threw himself at the ball. The keeper was well beaten, but the crossbar was there and not the netting, and really Shore are putting pressure on there, but following Alan Bowe's very unlucky miss was followed by a tragedy there from Weymouth. Really had all the time in the world to pick his spot, but the spot he picked was a foot outside the post.
North Shore coming back. This is Cole. Balfine did well. Cole recovered also. Brown battling hard. Cole a good ball to Both. They must score. Weymouth scores for North Shore. Thoroughly deserved.
It had to come, and it was a beautiful ball in from the midfield. It found Alan Both, and he got himself inside the fullback for the first time this afternoon. The quality of the cross was that he drove it low and hard. The keeper couldn't hold it, and there's Barry Weymouth just following in to slam it into the back of the net. And it looked like over the last 5 minutes that goal had to come, and it's really opened this game up. But really, it's been Napier's mistake. They had a chance to clear the ball, they didn't, and they've been punished for it.
Well, this possibly is one of the best cup finals for some years. Now, 20 minutes into the second half. 2-1. Napier lead. But that lead has been cut in half. Hobbs. Remember North Shore playing with the breeze at their backs. Almost an anxious moment for the Napier keeper Holmes. Cut out by Hobbs. Balfine. Jackson, but offside was Clark.
I can't really figure out Napier's thinking now, because what they have done, they have left Clark and Brown up front as they did in the first half, and yet the delivery now from midfield and that tenacity that we saw in the first half hasn't come, and Shore have really got on top in the midfield.
Weymouth. Oh, vital touch too by Milligan, gets the ball away, but it's a corner kick for North Shore as they continue to pour on the pressure in the second half of this Chatham Cup final. 2-1 now, Barry Weymouth. He has reduced the deficit, and they are looking more and more likely, North Shore. This is the captain, Varney. Oh, a chance if he's onside, and he was. And it was just wide of the right-hand upright. Weymouth again.
Chances are falling now to Shaw, and again there it was really a bit of docile running from the Napier back four. They decided to get out, but they got out just as the cross had been delivered. And Weymouth was stood there 4 yards in the clear, well onside, really had time to bring the ball down because it wasn't that high. And I think the Shaw strikers have just got to keep the composure now.
So really, for the first time in this match, Napier City Rovers under some pressure. Bryony. Halford. But Cole cuts it out. Back come North Shore. Henry. Cole directing proceedings. Showing good confidence there. Seems to be a certain air of confidence among the North Shore side now that certainly wasn't there in the first half. That's Loader. No option. Napier fans much quieter in the second half. Free kick to Napier then. Spring ground, he doesn't appear to be under any strain after receiving treatment. Looks a little concerned though. Taken by Donahue. Oh, chance for Halford. But the free kick given by referee Tasker.
He just got his hand onto that ball as it was whizzing past him. Didn't want the chance to go. So you're that close in, you try anything. Referee though well on the spot to see the incident.
Whatever Don Jones said at half-time was had some influence on this North Shore side, but of course there was plenty of cause for motivation there, trailing by 2-0. He'd be a bit happier now, but obviously he wants a second fairly quickly.
There was a deadpan look during the first half, David. At least we've got some sort of reaction looking on his face now.
Weymouth for North Shore. Nice touch by Hagan. Oh, here's a chance for Weymouth. Two players screaming for the ball outside him. McEwen and both. And neither of them were particularly happy.
That's that composure I was talking about. Barry's been, really launching himself at everything, but not showing the composure. All he had to do was just stroke the ball across the face of the goal, and as you say, he had McEwen and both lining up there to finish the attack.
Hagan cuts it out in the midfield for North Shore. No problems there for Holmes. Clive Holmes, who seems to have more and more work to do in the second half, certainly. Ball holding up in the wind, which definitely is stronger than it would appear from our position, certainly. Jackson, pretty tired in the midfield. North Shore doing fairly well in that department, though, in the second half. Clark. But it's a Napier throw. And the first substitution, I think, in the match so far, as Brian Mitchell is lining up on the sideline, number 11. And Weymouth, the scorer of the North Shore goal, leaves the field. So Mitchell on 25 minutes into the second half.
Well, I'm not surprised at that substitution, because although Weymouth got the goal, it was a gift goal from Alan Both. And he really just hasn't looked the part today. First, a couple of weeks ago, I thought Kevin Fallon had made a mistake by not including him in the squad, but Kevin looks to have been proved correct. When the pressure's on, Kevin just seems to lack that little bit of composure. But the big surprise has still been that in the exclusion of Elric. I thought Elric might have been into the game before now, because they have looked dodgy at the back. And I thought with him looking good up front now, he might have put that safeguard on of Adrian Elric. I've been surprised that he's been left out from the start.
Well, 20 minutes to go in this match. Clark on the ball for Napier. Did pretty well, Harry Clark, the scorer of the first Napier goal after just 3 minutes of play. Napier leading 2-1.
There is Adrian Elric on the bench and looks very, very disappointed indeed. He's come back after a long injury and has been in superb form the back end of the season. And I'm sure he's very disappointed not being out there now.
O'Donoghue. And a goal kick drifted past Adrian Elric, of course, who played his 300th game for North Shore this year. Amazing record. And of course, member of that fabulous 82 side. Kewen. Hagan. Hagan battling hard. Free kick for North Shore. Referee having a word to Terry Milligan, who I think may receive a booking here. Well, Barry Tasker had his hand in the back pocket, but he's just having a word perhaps to a few players.
I think he booked him in the first half, David, and I think he just thought about that, because again, it wasn't a serious incident, but he did look to be bringing the book out, and I think he just realised he booked him in the first half, and he would have had to have sent him off.
The free kick then to be taken by Varney. Odd chance and a good one too again as a foul bouncing dangerously behind the back four. And McKeown perhaps would have liked to have done a little better there. So Napier survived.
It's the second time this half, David, that the Napier defence has just made runs out and not been timing those runs very well. And again, there was two Shore defenders in behind them.
Hobbs. But Halford picks it up for Napier. Brown. Haven't seen much of Brown in the second half. Bowerfind. That's Parkin on the far side. We haven't seen much of Greg Brown really since he received attention for a knock about 10 or 15 minutes into the second half. So I just wonder if he is running with the freedom that he had in the first half.
I don't think the knock's troubling him too much. I think what's changed, David, is that the quality of ball, the early ball, like Barfield's there into touch when he could have played it earlier, as they were doing in the first half. And we're not relying on the quality of the pass into Brown's feet, or like now, beginning to use his pace.
Hobbs clears up at the back for North Shore. He's still trailed by 2-1. Yes, Brown certainly, like any striker, prefers better ball and not getting the service in the second half. Cole in the midfield for Shore. Bowerfinder's down on the ground for Napier, but he looks okay as the ball is played by Varney for Shore. Henry. And a goal kick for Napier.
He's had a torrid time all day today as Henry, and I think he's not picked it up yet, but every time he receives the ball, his two covering defenders go on it. And as soon as he's past one, which he usually does with ease, he's got the second defender to deal with, and that one he's not getting past. And I think with the two defenders coming on to Henry as quickly as they are, if he was passing the ball quickly and letting his running do the work for him, he'd be a far more dangerous player today.
Greg Brown was just on the ground a few minutes ago. Hagan. Good effort by Cole. I think Brown definitely has a few problems. That's Jackson tidying up for Napier. Halford. Offside, though, was Clark. 15 minutes remain in the final. 2-1 Napier lead. Harry Clark, the goal scorer, after 3 minutes of play. Hobbs. Varney eventually got it down. Henry again on the left. bounced kindly there. Hagen tried to set up the chance. Good effort by Cole again. Here's Hagen for North Shore. Hagen again. Henry forced very wide. Varney, the captain. An offside, at least one North Shore player. And a free kick to relieve some of the pressure. And there's been lots of it in the second half for Napier City Raiders. Remember, Barry Weymouth scored 19 minutes into the second half to bring the score back to 2-1. Well, the Napier Rovers supporters, no, time is ticking away. 14 minutes remain.
They look to have got over the shock of the goal there, David, and they're beginning to support the team again. 15 minutes to go. It's going to be a very, very interesting last 15 minutes.
Can Napier hang on? Hobbs. Well, they just waited for it there, the Napier City Rovers defenders. Perhaps a bit lucky. Green. Both. There's a chance for North Shore. Loader finds Henry. Henry looks around. A chance as the ball is played to Mitchell. Well, a corner kick is given, but another clear-cut chance for North Shore.
Yes, he should have finished that one. In the end, it was the goalkeeper's legs, I think, that deflected it over the top of the bar. But when you're in that much space and that close to goal, strikers should be finishing.
Hagen, a chance for both. Wasn't really close in the finish. The first-time effort. Napier City Rovers just hanging on. North Shore, obviously, a little happier about the situation, but like the players, they'd like to see the equaliser very shortly. Well, one in the air by Duncan Cole. Continues his run. Later, there's a real pattern to the Shore play now. Both takes over. Later, the shot. And a corner kick too with the deflection. Well, Paul Loader, not a bad effort. And wins the corner kick for North Shore, who are hot on attack. Inside the final quarter round, this Chatham Cup final. Clark gets it away. And it's a goal kick. He's really had to try his best in the second half, especially this afternoon, to hold out the constant North Shore raids, and there have been quite a few chances set up by Shore in the second half. Clive Holmes' clearance. Brown gets there. Just in the tackle. Both. It's a good run by Duncan Cole. Both directing. Hit away in spectacular fashion by Parkin. Terry Parkin would dearly love a cup winner's medal, but they're really going to have to fight it out, this one. Shore come back. Well cleared by Clive Holmes. He did pretty well in the circumstances. Hobbs trying to beat the offside trap, but they were offside. And a free kick then for Napier City Rovers.
Well, the pressure has been constant throughout this 45 minutes of the second half by North Shore, and they're really only going to have themselves to blame if they don't get at least back on equal terms in this game. Napier really haven't played well in the second half. It was pressurised, as they pressurised Shore in the first.
Here's Clark for Napier City Rovers. A chance as the ball bounces. Bauerfein. Brown. And the corner kick is given. Well, the danger is always there, of course, as North Shore commit themselves forward, leaving themselves short of the back of the Napier City Rovers breakaway. And there it came, a chance and a corner kick.
That was tremendous defending there by Keith Hobbs, because Barfield, when he got on the ball, had an easy little pass inside, and he just stayed in between the two defenders and defended well and finally got the good challenge in.
Paul Helford with this corner kick for Napier. Gilchrist just got his fist to it. It's a goal kick for North Shore.
It looks like being an interesting change here, Davey, because Jones has got Ted Edwards now lining up on the halfway line. It's going to be interesting to see just who he pulls off. It could well be McEwen. Jones moving off, unless he could possibly pull a defender off now, which it looks like he's doing, David. He's going to pull Loader off. So he really is going for the gamble for the win now. He's pulling a defender off and putting Ted Edwards, a striker, on. And obviously, during this last 10 minutes or so, he's really going to go all out for this equalising goal.
So Ted Edwards, who was the only omission from the North Shore side that beat DB Wellington in the semi-final, is back on the field. 9 minutes remain in this Chatham Cup final. Brown for Napier, just keeps the ball in. Clark's on the near post. Jackson's beyond. Set up well for Brown and Clark. Oh, Gilchrist got down well. Milligan. Donahue. Halford. And offside, Greg Brown.
All these chances for both sides here now. It really is nerve-wracking stuff here at Mount Smart. If Jackson had played that ball in early, Brown was on his bike a couple of minutes ago. If Clark had let the ball run, there's going to be a superb chance for Napier.
Just 7 minutes to go here at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland in the 85 Chatham Cup Final. And Napier, in their first ever Cup Final appearance, are leading North Shore, the favourites, by 2-1. Napier, remember, led playing with the wind in the first half, 2-0 at half-time. Greg Brown on the ball. Jackson played through for Helfer, but he's offside. Shadow of the vast stand here at Mount Smart, creeping across the ground.
As goalkeeper Gilchrist, don't think about time wasting there, but it was sensible play by Halford. He could have picked the ball up and gave it to him, but they were winning 2-1, so he let the ball run in and forced Gilchrist to have a long run for the ball.
Clark, the header. Balfine. Oh, does well, Carl Balfine. Still going. Not much support around. Clark. Brown. Still going. Brown! Greg Brown scores!
Absolute brilliant goal here from Brown. He's got 3 short defenders. He accelerates, he's through the gap before they can do anything about it, and then picks his spot and places it so neatly just inside the post. And there's the joy from a man who knows now he's just taken the Lecoq Sportive Chatham Cup back to Napier. And that says it all, David, there. Brown is magic. He certainly has been today.
5 minutes remain in this final. Greg Brown, his 13th goal of the season. That's Cup and League. Not a bad effort, considering he only arrived in the country 4 months ago.
We've seen nothing from him really in this second half, and he just exploded there into action, and it's been enough, I'm sure, now to win the Cup.
James Varney, the captain of North Shore. His side surely a hopeless task. His counterpart Baxter tries to get the ball away. Holmes is safe and secure. This really has been one of the better Chatham Cup finals. Green at the back for North Shore. surely a hopeless task. They have match winners on the side. I think they're going to need just a little bit more than that. Hagan. Both. Mitchell can't get there first. Jackson. Balfine loses control, as does Hagan. Henry and Brown. Henry does well to get there first.
I think Brown certainly maybe done a hamstring there now, David. He's on the ground, but he made 50 yards to get to that ball. Tremendous front running. But he's down and looking pretty injured now, but I don't think it would really matter at this stage of the game.
Greg Brown has certainly played his heart out for Napier today. The same could be said, of course, for the whole side. Shaw come back. Instructional offside it is inside the area. Just 3 minutes remains now. Napier leading by 3 goals to 1.
Shaw will be certainly regretting those missed chances as they dominated the game for such a long period in this second half. The chances have been there, but they haven't been taken, and Brown will come off now. He's pulled a hamstring for sure, and he's going to come off to a tumultuous applause by the non-committal supporters here, and certainly his own supporters that have travelled from Napier.
Shane Clapperton is the man who comes on for the final 2 minutes of this Chatham Cup final. A marvellous effort by Greg Brown. Lee Green at the back for North Shore. Hobson Clark. A bit of help from Green. Gilchrist sparks it off on the left. Don Jones, these last 3 or 4 weeks for him must have been very forgettable, to say the least. Now, a lonely moment perhaps for Don Jones. The season promised so much. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this final. Henry for North Shore. Free kick just outside the area. 2 minutes as Roy Stanger looks around to the rest of his coaching staff and players on the bench.
Oh, they've got a laugh on now. I was beginning to worry why they were looking so nervy there. They were worried about the 2 minutes to go and things like that. I'd be sat on the bench now really enjoying the game.
Cole. Well wide though with the free kick. Just 60 seconds of normal time remaining in this Chatham Cup final. And certainly Napier City Rovers are going to make a successful first ever appearance in a Chatham Cup final. It's been a remarkable season for them. When you look at their record in the first half of the Rothman Soccer League, taking just a point from so many matches, then with the arrival of Greg Brown, the spirited revival, they still remember have to take part in a promotion relegation series which starts in Palmerston North next week to win back their place in the Rothmans League. Today is their day though. Edwards trying to get it away. Jackson. It's the captain. Halford. It's Balfine.
That's sensible play, full of composure, and you know, David, you wouldn't think that this team's only won 5 league matches all season.
We're now into time added on for stoppages in the Chatham Cup final, and Napier City Rovers lead Hannibix North Shore by 3 goals to 1. Referee Barry Tasker looking at his linesman. Looks at his own watch. The throw to be taken by Parkin. Surely fairly secure the Chatham Cup now with Napier City Rovers and a corner kick.
I didn't see the blue ribbons on it, David, but I think they probably should have put them on 10 minutes ago.
Alford to take this corner kick in the dying seconds of this final. Task is looking at his watch again.
It's certainly been a worthwhile kick down from Napier for those supporters.
Alford. Shaw break back. Henry. Laid forward to McEwen. Henry again. Or maybe he intended to lob the keeper, but it certainly didn't work or even get close. Surely only seconds remain now in this Chatham Cup final. We've had 2 minutes of time added on for stoppages. The Napier City Rovers support are on their feet. Holmes with the goal kick. Edwards. Henry. That's it. Napier City Rovers win the Chatham Cup for the first time in their history and in their first ever appearance in a Chatham Cup final. A truly remarkable win against the favourites North Shore. They led by 2-0 at half-time in a stunning first-half display, rocking North Shore completely. Harry Clark after 3 minutes, Paul Halford after 26. North Shore came back, as I think everyone expected them to do in the second half, and it was really a torrid encounter as Napier had to survive the onslaught. Barry Weymouth pulled one back after 19 minutes of play in the second half before he was substituted. But the clincher scored by Greg Brown with 6 minutes to play. The final score in the Chatham Cup final, Napier City Rovers beating North Shore by 3-1 as Greg Brown and the players look to their support, at least 600 or 700 strong. And they are indeed a very happy crowd. A great moment for a side and a club which have had their problems during the year. And their success is thoroughly deserved. The coaching staff, Malcolm Wilson and Roy Stanger, they took over the reins, remember, for the final 4 games last season when Roger Wilkinson left the club, were reappointed for the 1985 season. And after that dreadful start, they now have, at last, some success, and they would say deserved success. Back to Greg Brown.
It's certainly been a marvellous cup final, one of the best I can remember since my time in New Zealand, David, and Clark and Brown. But really, when you look through the Napier side, there wasn't a weak link in the side. They came out here and played positive football for most of the game. They got the 2-goal lead that they deserved in the first half. We're a little bit worried in the second half because they sat back and defended just for a period of time, and really Shaw have only got themselves to blame because they did have chances, they couldn't take them, but there was some good composed defending during that time by the Napier defence. And an excellent performance by Napier, and I'm sure this victory will put them in good stead as far as confidence is concerned as they go into the playoffs next week. So there's Greg Brown, and he has been a revolution to this club. He's a goal scorer, he's got genuine pace, he's got all the things that we look for in central strikers, his control, and there's the prize for the day, the Chatham Cup. And it'll be a marvellous feeling, I'm sure, for this club, who I think it's the first time ever they've taken this trophy, to have it for 12 months down in Napier. It'll be a great confidence booster as the teams go up. First of all, tragedy for Shaw, but in everything there's got to be losers. And let's not forget North Shore, because they've set tremendous standards in the Rocklands League and in football in general this year in New Zealand. Sad to say that at the end of it, they're only going away with the New Zealand trophy, but they've had a tremendous season and they can keep their heads up very, very high. They set good standards. Always disappointment in defeat. Baxter now leads Napier up to receive the trophy.
Sean Baxter, a former youth international in his second season at Napier City Rovers, and what a proud moment for him, leading his side up to receive the Chatham Cup final from the Vice President of the New Zealand Football Association, Sir Robert Muldoon. And the new mascot of Napier City Rovers also takes the magic walk. Great moment for Sean Baxter. That's Stan Clark. Terry Parkin. Mascot under his arm. Harry Clark, the scorer of the first goal after 3 minutes. It's Terry Milligan. Greg Brown, the man himself. Phil Jackson. Paul Halford. Clive Holmes. That's Steve O'Donoghue. He scored the vital goal, the only goal of the semi-final. So a great moment for Napier City Rovers, the club, the players, the coaching staff, and the wonderful support that they do have at the East Coast club. The blue ribbon certainly attached to the Chatham Cup now.
It's a wonderful feeling to win something like this. It's a trophy that's been around football for a long years. It's got a lot of respect by the players. It's something they really love to win. There's some sad faces here, but like I say, Shaw's done well all season. Varney there. Gilchrist, having a look at him half-time, he took a very bad knock in the mouth. You can see the cut there. Played well. Henry never really got into the game. Weymouth there was substituted. Young Loader. Young Lee Green, young boys here, they've got a big future yet in New Zealand football. McEwen, Duncan Cole, his strength really came to the fore in the second half. Edwards, who came on for the last 10 minutes. Hobbs had quite a good game, I thought, today, defended very well. Hagan never really got into his stride, and same thing there with Alan Both. For Napier City Rovers, it's going to be a very short trip back home. Often when you've been away from home and you've lost, it's a long way home. But tonight it'll seem very, very short for them. They'll relish every minute of it. And why not? They've struggled for so long, Sanger and the coaches at Napier have really shown a lot of faith in the players. They've battled through, they've done well, and what a marvellous end to the season for them.
A great win to Napier City Rovers in their first ever Cup Final appearance. They beat North Shore, the favourites, by 3-1.
And our commentators today at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland were David Allen and John Adsett, and a great performance by Napier City Rovers. Congratulations to the Bay. Very surprising to see them come through, perhaps, especially when they've been up and down this year, and they've still got that playoff series to play to retain their place in Division 1 of the Rothmans National League for next year. But that's another story. Today, 3-1 winners over North Shore United. Let's look now and up.
Mike, what are you going to do?
I'll come back, Steve.
Okay, good luck.
I'll come back.
We'll see you in the new year.
Thank you.
Yes, see you next year.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
And we'll see you next year as well. Then, well, it is, yes, it's January the 1st tomorrow, so please be very, very safe out there on the roads.
Do that. Good night to Connaughton.
Good night, the rest of New Zealand.
Have a wonderful night.
Have a great party.
Bye-bye.
One World of Sport saw some remarkable moments in our sesquicentennial year. These are the moments in the best of 1990, the past year of sport, next on Television 1. This is a Grundy television production in association with Television New Zealand Limited. Grant Walker speaking.
Thursday on 1, The Experience.
Hello, Possums, and welcome to my seminar in the sky.
With guest Tony Curtis, the stunning Grace Jones. She reveals her darkest secret.
Men in frocks are yucky to me, I'm sorry.
Dr. Christian Barnard reveals the new Madge. simply the best.
Now you're talking.
Dame Edna on 1. Following the bill, 8:30 Thursday.
Welcome to our world. Won't you come on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Step into our heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to our world, built with you in mind. Knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you'll be given the key to this world of mine. We'll be waiting here with our arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
One World of Sport and Toyota, principal sponsor of New Zealand 1990, proudly present the best of 1990.
for the New Zealander. A body length and a half out in the lead. His mother's on her feet. So is the rest of the stadium.
Well, he's ahead of the time that he swam at Seoul. He's going to do a personal best, or very close to it.
15 metres to swim. Have a look at the distance. He's blown them away. Kiwi gold. Anthony Moss. Kiwi gold. Anthony Moss. Less than 50 to go. Simsick. Livingston, who likes to come right. Can the New Zealander here hold on? Simsick. Livingston is coming at it.
Simsick knows it's coming.
Simsick holding on. 10 metres to swim. Livingston coming. Goal for Simsick. Simsick swim quick, and she did. Nicole Livingston had it in the 100 metres, but no one can take away this moment from Anna Simsick, and she becomes New Zealand's golden girl of the pool.
Good news for New Zealand. Nikki Jenkins right in contention here. Brought in as a late replacement in the all-around, finished 5th, surprised absolutely everyone. Here she is in super form again. The difficulties there, she's had a 9.7.
And the good news is as well that the second bolt that she does, she's very proficient at. She'll attempt a handspring tuck. 9.9 bolt. Yes, immaculate. How about that?
And the crowd go up, and they know she's in contention.
The winner of the gold medal for the women's vault event with a score of 9.712 is Nikki Jenkins, representing New Zealand.
Never before in New Zealand's gymnastics history. An international gold.
There's the bell for Gary Anderson. He's going to get a gold medal. Absolutely ecstatic.
He can't lose it now. Gary Anderson cycling for gold.
Absolutely brilliant.
Gold medal for Gary Anderson. Magnificent ride. And New Zealand has gold at the velodrome.
500 metres to go. Left. Here we go, New Zealand. They're going to dirt run. Brilliant ride by New Zealand. They've got the gold medal.
Fantastic New Zealand. 422.76.
That's a new Commonwealth Games record.
And it's a gold medal for New Zealand in the team's pursuit. And listen to that crowd. Down to the last lap we go.
Absolutely nothing in it. Who's going to finish the best? This is a gold medal ride. Who's going to finish the fastest? Kathy Watt looks better at the stage. Will the crowd lift Madonna Harris? There's Madonna. She's fighting. 100 metres to go. Who's it going to be? It's anyone's guess. It's going to be very close. Yes, it's Madonna Harris. What a brilliant ride for New Zealand. Number 4 gold medal for New Zealand cycling.
Draker. Heel for a corner. Richard Hadley strikes again, and Draker is out, caught by Andrew Jones, in close. Hadley to Azharuddin. Now grab it up and shot. Test wicket number 399 now for Richard Hadley.
Richard Hadley creates cricket history. A moment to savor for Richard Hadley and for those of us privileged to witness the occasion. And now a lovely touch. Roger Patnagar, a friend of Richard Hadley's from Auckland, and Bishan Singh Bedi coming out. Mr. Ken Madaka, the manager of the Indian team.
Here's Wasson bowling to Hadley. Cracked away on the onside through mid-wicket. 4 runs to Hadley. Well, that's a cracking shot on the offside this time. Azharuddin makes good ground, but he's going to lose it. It's over the boundary ropes, 4 more.
Hadley's bowls hit right across the line. Well bowled by Hilwani. Hadley out 5 runs.